Here are 5 foods that I'm gonna be eating this summer, how I'm eating them, why I'm eating them, and why you should eat them too. If you're new here, hey, I'm Healthy Emmie. I'm a nutritionist, a weight loss specialist, and the creator of the Slim on Starch program. If you are interested in all things health, wellness, and plant-based weight loss, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I upload a new video twice a week. Eating seasonally is a little known hack when it comes to maximizing your health. The seasonal food is oftentimes local. It's more nutrient dense because it wasn't harvested early, it wasn't harvested before it was ripe, and it hasn't been traveling over long distances. The foods that I'm going to be sharing with you today can be purchased hopefully locally, maybe even organically, not being sprayed with harsh pesticides. They're going to taste so much better, and they're going to be chock full of dense nutrients that are going to help you and support you in no matter what your health goals are. You will notice a difference when you eat an apple that's been picked off of an apple tree while you're apple picking, or when you eat any of these foods that are during the summer seasons. I'll say as well, the body does a better time assimilating the nutrients from these foods because they are picked when they're truly ready to be eaten. When we eat foods that have been harvested before they're picked, that have been stored in the back of the grocery store for the past year, what happens due to the light and the heat and the air and the oxidation is it actually loses its nutrient value over time. So by eating this food right when it's harvested, when it was grown down the road, it's going to taste a lot better. Your body's going to be more able to assimilate the nutrients. And also there's a different energy, there's a different vibration when you eat the food that was harvested down the street. There's a different aura that you're bringing to mealtime. It's also great because you're supporting local farmers. So the foods that I'm going to be sharing with you today are more nutrient dense, they're often cheaper, they have less harsh pesticides, you're supporting a local business, you're supporting the environment because these foods don't have to be transported all of this distance. This is also a little known gut hack of mine because the gut appreciates diversity in your diet, and when you eat seasonally, you naturally are going to bring more diversity into what you're eating. So without further ado, let's get into it. Food number 1 is one of my favorites, summer squash, and I get so excited for the summer because this is often something that you can buy local and the price reduces dramatically during the summertime. Summer squash is high in vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin B6. It's also high in manganese, which is going to help support your bone health. A great way to incorporate this is to spiralize it. You've heard of zoodles, you've heard of zucchini noodles. You can do the same thing with summer squash. And what's really great about this is that you can blend it in with something like spaghetti. So make yourself a pot of spaghetti, spiralize a summer squash, steam it quickly or blanch it quickly, boil it quickly, just so that it's not raw anymore to the point where it's tender, and then mix it in with your spaghetti and it's gonna blend in color. Put a red sauce on top of it or put a cashew cream, a cashew Alfredo sauce on top of it. And now you've doubled the size of your meal, but you haven't doubled the calories because summer squash is so low in calories. It's like 75 calories per pound or something crazy like that. So you can have a large amount of it to help bulk up what you're having if weight loss is your goal without adding too many calories. Now, if you're buying it local, you might be able to find them nice and big like this one. And in this case, you can actually cut this in half, hollow it out, and then fill it with something like quinoa and tomatoes and cucumbers, and you can make a little stuffed squash for yourself. Another thing you can do with this is grill it. This grills beautifully. So you can slice it lengthwise and place it. You could brush it with something like a lemon juice or a lime juice or a balsamic vinegar, season it if you would like to, place it right on the grill and let it grill up. And so while everybody is having, if they're eating animal products or, you want to clean the grill, of course, but you don't feel as though you're not part of the celebration. You can bring something along to grill. These grill beautifully. You also could, that's my son. That is my son. Those are my genes. That is how he gets up there. If you see him in videos up there. You also could do the zoodle bowl from the Healthy Bowls cookbook. That would be a yummy option. The next food that you're going to see me eating very often is a starch of choice for the summer. What is summer without gorgeous, gorgeous corn. This is another thing that you can buy locally. And if you can buy it locally and organic, I would highly recommend it because unfortunately corn is a very heavily sprayed crop when it comes to very harsh pesticides. So if you can buy it organic, this is going to be a great bet for you. It's going to taste so sweet. And I want to tell you something a little bit fun about corn that you might not realize, because I do love me some gut health. I wrote a whole gut health cookbook, so I love all things gut health. Corn can be really beneficial if you are wanting to track your time in transit, how fast or slow your digestion is. If you're struggling with things like constipation or diarrhea, if you feel as though your bowel movements aren't regular, you're not having a regular bowel movement every morning, every day, then you can have corn and track what is my time in transit, because corn is something that you would actually see coming out on the other end. Now, people will say, does this mean that I am not absorbing any of the nutrients? And the answer is no, that's not what it means. It's because the outside of the corn, the husk of the corn, is what we call insoluble fiber, meaning it's not going to get dissolved. It's going to come out on the other side, and it's going to help with food in transit. It's going to help with regular bowel movements. So this is going to be your friend when it comes to gut health. Corn is a great way to switch up your starch of choice. If you are choosing things like rice and potatoes and quinoa and oatmeal, and you're kind of, wanting to try something new and something fun and fresh for the summer, incorporate corn. You can have it as corn on the cob. One of my favorite things to do is to throw corn on the cob in the air fryer, sprinkle some nutritional yeast on top, some lime on top. Delicious. You can also put corn into a salad. So, you can boil up some corn and you can cut off the actual pieces of corn and put it into a salad. It's delicious. You could put it into a salsa, which I'm going to be talking about salsa a little bit later on. But this is a great way to bulk up a meal and to have you have that starch source that's going to give you satiety. And especially in the summer, it just tastes so good. So you could have it in a leafy green salad, make your regular salad and make this your starch of choice. Or you could do a corn black bean salad. You mix corn with black beans, cherry tomatoes, avocado, red onion, cilantro, lime juice. Bam, easy, fresh. Throw some mango. Did I say mango? Throw some pineapple in there. Delicious. You could also throw it onto the grill. Spray some or brush some lime juice on there. Put on some chili powder, some black pepper right on the grill. What's better than that? And if you wanted to do a little gazpacho type thing, then you could do the corn chowder from my Healthy Soups cookbook and serve it cold. Quick intermission because I have to give a shout out to my Slim on Starch client, Mary. Mary just sent me a message that truly has brought tears to my eyes, and I have to share it. Mary's in her 60s years young, and she said this: Team, I'm walking the Boulder 10K. Last year, I was 3 weeks into the Slim on Starch program. Right now, my husband and I are eating at the same restaurant as we ate at last year. Last year, I weighed 223 pounds, which was at least 10 lighter than what I started the SOS program at. So starting at 233, this morning I weighed in at 160 pounds. I'm trying not to cry at this restaurant. Thank you for making this change possible. Oh, it brings tears to my eyes. I have goosebumps. I'm just so proud of her. It's a milestone moment. And she sent a photo. I can't mess up my makeup. She sent a photo of her and her husband, and it's a new lease on life. She gave herself a new life. It's so inspiring. And I have to give her that shout out because it's going to change the life of at least one person watching this video who, after watching this, will say, you know what, why not me? Why can't I do that too? And the answer is that you can do this. You can do whatever you set your mind to. Mary just decided, I'm going to do this. I'm joining this program and I'm making it happen. And she joined the Slim on Starch program, and that's what happened. And it's here for the taking. Whoever wants to be successful, I've got the formula. You just got to come follow it. And that's what she did. So shout out to you, Mary. We love ya. Another great thing to throw on the grill in the summer is the local in-season bell peppers. Bell peppers, especially the red ones during the summer months, they are just so sweet during the summer and they grill beautifully. The skin is like this built-in non-stick skin that you can put directly onto the grill. So you can just take a giant bell pepper. I cut these into strips because I'm a big taco girl and I'm gonna be making these into tacos later. But if you don't wanna cut it into strips and you just keep the bell pepper cut in half, you can put it directly onto the grill, maybe brush some balsamic vinegar on there. They grill up beautifully. They get so sweet and juicy. Another option is to make fajitas. Tacos in the summer, who doesn't love tacos in the summer? You can make a taco bowl and throw these on top, grill them and throw them on top, or you can make fajitas, you can make actual tacos. Something else that you can do is make some stuffed bell peppers. So I have stuffed peppers from my Healthy Families cookbook, and you of course could bake them, or you could stuff them with the recipe from the Healthy Families cookbook and then put them directly onto the grill to give them this nice seared roasted flavor. If you are eating a plant-based diet, you must supplement vitamin B12. It's very difficult to find a clean B12 on the market, which is why I decided to make one myself, because I couldn't find one that was clean. They were all gross and they had sugar and oil and animal products added. So I made a vitamin B12 that's just one active ingredient, B12, that's it, no junk, no GMOs, no sugar, no oil, no processed junk, no gross stuff. Vegan, clean, premium ingredients. Get yours in the down bar and you can subscribe and save so that's delivered to your door every month and you don't have to worry about B12 deficiency. Vitamin B12 deficiency can have neurological complications. It can cause depression, fatigue, memory loss. There are even studies showing a link between vitamin B12 deficiency and the progression of Alzheimer's. So you definitely don't want to risk this, and just make sure that you're supplementing. Get it in the description. Did you know that just one bell pepper has 150% of the vitamin C that we're recommended to get in a day? Oh yeah. Vitamin C doesn't just come from the sugary summer fruits that we think of, but we can get it from vegetables too. And I know bell peppers have seeds. Technically, botanically, they're a fruit, but culinarily speaking and calorie density speaking, they're super low in calories. I'm gonna call them a veggie. Now, because they're packed with vitamin C, this is gonna be great for our skin health. It's gonna give us that glow. It's going to help with collagen production in the skin, which will help keep the skin elastic and keep it young. Vitamin C is also going to help boost our immune function. Summer colds are a thing. Bell peppers also have vitamin E, which is a little bit harder to get if you are on a lower fat plant-based diet, so bringing in some bell peppers can help bump up your vitamin E a bit. They're also great for eyesight. They contain carotenoids, which are going to help with the eyes. They don't just come from carrots, they are in bell peppers as well. And especially during the summer months, please wear sunglasses. Please, please, please protect your eyes. But in the moments where you're not wearing sunglasses, at least you got some carotenoids as your safety net. Okay, now moving on to the next item. The next item are local tomatoes from the garden, which I used to make a gorgeous salsa, which I'm gonna pair with my fajita veggies and my corn. Tomatoes are a quintessential summer garden delight. You know, we're giving them away. I know that my mom growing up, we would have so many tomatoes by the end of the summer. We were giving them to neighbors, so they are a classic staple of the summer months. Now, the reason why tomatoes are red is because they contain something called lycopene. Lycopene is a powerful antioxidant. It is known for its anti-cancer properties, so you're fighting cancer by eating these tomatoes. And in particular, studies have shown a connection between eating lycopene-rich foods and a reduction in prostate cancer. So men, get on those tomatoes. What's great too about tomatoes is that they contain a high amount of vitamin C, which is going to help with the absorption of iron. Absorbing iron, especially when you're on a plant-based diet, it's difficult to do for women too during the childbearing years when you lose a lot of iron through the menstrual cycle. The iron that's found in plant foods is a little bit tougher for our body to hold on to and grasp onto. It's not as bioavailable. So by having vitamin C rich foods alongside iron-rich foods, we're more easily able to absorb that iron. Tomatoes are great during the summer too because they have such a high water content. I actually worked at this little market when I was in high school, and this woman bought this big local tomato during the summer, an older woman. She had her fanny pack, she paid for it back when people paid with cash. And she bought a local tomato and she said, "Can you actually wash this for me?" And I said, "Sure." I went to the back and I washed it. And she said, "Do you have those little salt and pepper packets?" And I said, "Yep." And she goes, "Can I have a couple?" I said, "Sure." So I gave them to her. She took a bite out of the tomato and then she sprinkled on some salt and pepper and she walked back home eating it like an apple. I had never seen anything like that. And I want to share that with you for you tomato lovers out there. It could be a great alternative to an apple. But I had talked a little bit earlier about using your summer squash to spiralize it and make it sort of like a spaghetti, add in a tomato sauce, and then add in some fresh tomatoes on top of it. So it's okay if you're still buying tomato sauce from the store, but if you do have local tomatoes, just chop some up and add it in with the dish to bring in that local flavor and add another depth of texture and taste and a different element to the meal than what you just bought at Stop and Shop. And the last food is a quite nostalgic food for me. I just have a little container of, oh, it's so nostalgic. Oh my gosh. It really brings me back to summer days when I was little. Sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds were something that I would always be snacking on back in my middle school days. I have memories of going to the convenience store down the road from where we lived, and I would get a cool blue Gatorade. I would get a pack of David's sunflower seeds, or I'd get the 2-for-1 sunflower seeds, and that's what I would eat during the summer months. Very nostalgic. But the reason why I brought this into this video is because during the summer months, if you're gonna be out at the pool or the beach, or you're wearing tighter clothing or less clothing and you don't wanna feel bloated, it can be better to bring in some foods that you can eat in smaller volumes that are more calorically dense to give you a bit more energy. If you don't wanna eat a huge veggie salad and you're gonna feel kind of heavy and bloated after, to have snacks around, for me personally in weight maintenance, to have some richer sources of calories that don't have as much volume. For somebody that is currently looking to lose weight, you do wanna make sure that you exercise some caution with these foods, to have them as a condiment, as a sprinkling, not eating, pouring them out and going like this with them, because this little thing right here, let's see, this is probably like 2 tablespoons. I wonder how many calories this is. Let's see, calories per tablespoon sunflower seeds. Okay, so this little tiny thing right here that I could just pop in my mouth in a second it's over 100 calories, whereas this entire summer squash is probably 100 calories. So, a bit of a difference in terms of what's gonna make you full. So if you are looking to release weight, let's exercise caution with these. But how I would use these myself is if I were in a position where I was gonna be out and about, I was gonna be at the pool or at the beach, and I was wearing a bathing suit, and I needed a good hit of energy, but I didn't want to eat something that was going to take up a bunch of room in my stomach, and then you go swimming and you're in the waves and that's just not a good feeling. I would rely on something that's a little bit rich and a little bit more calorically dense, like sunflower seeds. If you are looking to release weight, then what you could do, if you do want to incorporate something like sunflower seeds, because it is the time of year for them, you could use them as a sprinkling on your salad. All right, my question for you, you have to choose one of these, and I want you to comment and tell me which one of these, if you could only have one on this table for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Summer squash, bell peppers, salsa, or sunflower seeds? I know my answer. I want to know your answer. And I wonder if you know my answer. Pause the video and guess which one of these I'm choosing. Let me give you a hint. One of these is my favorite of all time. Like, one of my favorite vegetables of all time is on this table, and I eat it every day. What's the answer for me? You'll have to go in the comments and see. I'm gonna leave a comment and let you know. All right, my honeys, I love you, and I'll see you in my next video.